and your friend. I have known Charles for a fairly good amount of time. We knew each other in 2013 when we were campaigning around the country as Code family that time. He was always the one receiving us every time we went to Meru, accommodating us and arranging for our rallies. And since then, we became very good friends. When he joined Parliament in 2017, he looked me out and said, Senator, I'm now part of this family of Parliament. And we've continued being very close. We go to the gym with Meli, Jalango once in a while, and a few others, and Moses here. We always meet in the gym regularly. And he would sit after his workout, he would take his juice, and from time to time he would call you and engage you in very good discussions. I always remember him telling me over and over, after we parted ways with the Prime Minister in 2022, he said, "Hata tukitengana sisi ni family." That was always his advice. And he always comes to my office. When he finds other people waiting, he goes away and sends me a message and says, "When you are free, tell me to come back." And he will never come there with trivia. He wants me to help him to do something in his constituency. He wants me to call the Inspector General of Police to promote or to help somebody. He wants me to speak to the Minister for Education to help transfer some teacher. Always pro-constituent issues. On the fateful day, I saw Charles in Parliament. He normally sits at the back with Mishimbogo and the member for Kisauni. They always sit together. He came in, he went out, he came in again. And by the time I left the chamber, it was about about six. He was still there. I went to the chamber, to the office, did some work. When I was leaving at about 7:15, 7:30, I met Rosa. "You are with Millie?" "You are with Beatrice Elach," at the entrance to the house. And Rosa called me aside and said, "We have unconfirmed information that Charles Were has been shot by unknown people." I told them, "Get into the car and run to wherever it has happened, and please call me. I'm going to another meeting in Karen." Before I got to Oleseren, turning off the expressway, Rosa called me and said, "Bad news, Speaker, he has not pulled through." It was very devastating. After our call, I called the IG, asked him if he knew. He said he had received information and his men were on the ground. I called the president, informed him. And from there on, you have said what has been going on. As the family of Parliament, we have lost one too many of our members this term. We lost the member for Banisa. We lost the senator for Baringo. We've now lost Charles. We lost member for Malava, Maloli Njendi. And every time we lose, we come together as a family to support the family of our departed colleague. I had an opportunity to know your county inside out. In my earlier years, I was a magistrate in Rongo, and we used to go to Homa Bay every other weekend because it was the only close enough town. You could either go to Kisii or go to Homa Bay, and since we had no cars, you had to jump onto a matatu, and Homa Bay was easier to go to. When my friend and professional colleague, the late Otieno Kajwang, died, we came to Homa Bay and stayed there with my brother Raila Odinga for 1 full month, campaigning for this young man. There's no village we didn't go. And people were warm and welcoming. And when eventually Charles became a member of parliament, a constituency that I think used to be held at one time by Otieno Kopio, isn't it? Yes. I told him, I've been to your constituency. There is a priest from Oyugis called Moses Wetang'ula Were. You know him?
Yes, yes.
He's my very close friend. You know that he's a Catholic priest. He's now working in the army. He's had invited me to come to a Catholic church in Oyugis, and we had agreed to be there in June. And I had called Honorable Were and told him, I'll be coming to your area. He said, we'll be there together. Last week, Honorable Charles came to my office and said, in August, when we go to Rome to see the Pope, ensure I am in the delegation. I called Alice, who runs our caucus, and told her, even if I go with only one member, it will be Charles Were. Last time we went with Polo here and others. So that is how close Charles was to all of us. As a family, you have lost. Don't pay any attention to the filth and nonsense on social media. Kenyans have become very callous. Kenyans have become very heartless. Kenyans have become people who is difficult to describe. Pay attention to your family. Will all come and people will make very big speeches. When they finish, they will leave. And that's when it will dawn upon you that now you must sit together as one. As friends will be there. I've heard what your children have said. Knock on my door anytime, my sons. Whatever I can do, I will. Whatever I can't, I'll tell you I can't, so that we can be able to help you realize the dream of your father. So as Parliament, we say, Pole sana. We will definitely be at home on Friday. Moses, you'll be there to welcome us so that we can be able to give our friend, our brother, a dignified send-off. I beg you, don't make it a political rally. Let it be a funeral, so that we can be able to mourn our friend with the dignity that he deserves. I know there are all those contradictions in life, but we will be coming as a family of Parliament, and I urge you all members to join us. As Parliament, we try to do what we can, and everything that we're doing is to help the family at least feel appreciated that you donated your husband, your father to us in Parliament, and he has also made a difference in the lives of others. So we'll be responsible for things like mortuary fees, we'll be responsible for buying the coffin, we'll be responsible for transporting the body up to the final resting place, and we'll be also able to help the family to lift you up to whether it's Kisumu or Homa Bay Airport for you to get home in preparation for the Friday event. As I finish, members of parliament, our friend has died in very tragic circumstances to hands of criminals. Because anybody who can pull a trigger on another is nothing but a criminal. One, I encourage all of us, whoever has any information that can help, and as an institution of parliament, we'll play our part to see that any contribution we can make to bring those criminals to book, we will. Number two, I encourage all of you members, what has happened to Ong'ondo Were can happen to any one of you. So tighten your security, be conscious of your security, don't fear to live, don't live in fear, but be careful as you go around, because there are people, you know, as members of parliament, very few people like you. For strange reasons, people who want to come to parliament don't like people who are in parliament. And all the time you find somebody is campaigning against you, but is uttering a lot of filth about the House of Parliament and parliamentarians. But that shouldn't deter you from working to make Kenya safer, to make Kenya greater, to make Kenya prosperous, and above all, to make sure that Kenyans, wherever they are, in whatever station in life, are safe. Safety is key to everybody. So, Mama, both of you, we thank you for looking after our brother in his life. And we thank you for being there, bring up these wonderful children in the manner that Charles would have done. And where you need help, like I've said, you already have Kina Hillary, Moses